You're so nice. It's almost like we didn't just tell you to clap. Our next guest has been acting since she was just a child. You may have seen her alongside The Rock and Zac Efron in last year's Baywatch. Today we're going to talk to Alexandra Daddario about her new film, the romantic comedy When We First Met. Before we get started, I want to remind viewers at home they can submit a question using the button next to this video. Let's take a look right now at a clip from When We First Met.
She was the girl of my dreams.
That was the moment I knew that it was love.
We met 3 years ago.
You are a league of their own, right?
Are you Garth?
Excellent. What is your favorite drink?
Grapefruit juice with vodka and 3 maraschino cherries. Hey, do you want to get out of here?
Yeah. It was the perfect first date.
These things are so much fun.
But I waited too long. And then I got hugged.
Oh, this is so nice to have a good guy friend. I can't even tell you.
To Ethan and Avery.
I'm in love with Avery. If only I could go back and do everything differently. I could be the kind of guy she would want. Could you tell me what year it is?
It's 2014.
Holy shit. I just traveled back in time. Right now, I have someone to meet.
What's your favorite drink?
Mine is grapefruit juice with some vodka and exactly 3 maraschino cherries.
That's my favorite drink, too.
What?
This is the psycho I was telling you about.
You didn't guess that I was an army brat. You already knew that. You're a stalker.
Stalkers wear like trench coats and no underwear. And I am clearly wearing underwear. Look.
Hit him in the balls, hit him in the dick!
The photo booth is a time machine. This is gonna be the best night of your life.
I can deal with best night of my life.
Just follow what I do. Ready? What's up, girl?
What's up, girl?
Are you doing a Joker impersonation?
This is like, it was good.
If all else fails, be an asshole.
Be an asshole.
Not hard asshole, soft asshole.
Don't forget your leather pants.
Oh my God. I went full asshole. I have no control over any of this. I make a decision, and then I wake up 3 years later with the consequences. I thought things were supposed to happen for a reason.
Things happen for no reason at all, but they create opportunities. The question is, can you recognize that next opportunity when it matters the most?
As long as I keep dreaming on, I keep dreaming. I keep dreaming on, I keep...
Hi!
Oh my God.
That's the stalker!
I've got a bomb! He's got a bomb! I got a bomb! It's fine. I'm sorry my bomb threat ruined your magical evening. Have a great life.
Everybody, please welcome Alexandra Daddario. Let's hear it.
Hello.
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 Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the film. It premieres on Netflix February 9th, right?
That's right, yes.
All in like 180 countries, right? Isn't that the thing with Netflix? It's just
Yeah, I think it goes out, it's 117 million people.
It's wild.
It is, it's wild.
Yeah, and yet we still place some sort of weird emphasis on theatrical experiences.
It's true, well, it is an experience to go to the theater, but I think that especially with the way that the world is changing and technology is changing, you can have that same experience in your home. Which is why Netflix is what Netflix is. And by creating content that everybody wants to see, it's making it easier to see all different kinds of things and different kinds of stories. So it's cool to be part of that.
Yeah. One of the things that I really liked about this film is that it is an old school romantic comedy. Like it's a 13 going on 30 sort of thing that I feel like we rarely get to see anymore.
Yeah, well, rom-com sort of became a dirty word, didn't it? Yeah. But like rom-coms are, I mean, they're my favorite kind of film.
Oh, you've got mail on in front of me. I'm sitting down.
Oh, yeah. So I like that we had the opportunity to make a sort of classic rom-com with great people and a great director and a great script, and I think that a lot of people will really enjoy it. And you know, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll feel things, you'll think about things. It has everything that you need. I feel like.
I also get the impression when I watch rom-coms, as much as comedy I think is fairly hard to do, the impression that I always get with watching rom-coms is that it's kind of a relaxing shoot for the actors. Is that, I mean, going from like an action movie like San Andreas or Baywatch to something where it's like, you're in this nice bar and we're gonna light it well and you're gonna have a nice conversation with this actor.
Yeah, I think so. And you get to like make out with cute boys. And I think I think it depends on what the production is like, but this film was really, really fun, and really everyone was fantastic. And
Shot it all around New Orleans, right?
we shot it all around New Orleans, and yeah, I mean, you're sitting there and talking, and you're not running from an invisible monster or tsunami or whatever the case may be.
Looking at a tennis ball, right? Isn't that the usual thing?
That's right. So it's like a completely different kind of acting. You know, I started doing these really huge green screen movies, and I sort of perfected the art of looking at something that wasn't there and being terrified and running away. And so it's fun to get to do things now that are different than that.
Is that the general direction that you get when you're doing a big green screen movie? Okay, look there, look terrified, then run away. Consistently just
Well,
that?
I think it's Brad Payton, who directed San Andreas. We talked about this one moment where he was explaining the direction to me, and I simplified, and I go, okay, so it's a holy shit into a what the, am I allowed to curse?
You go
Okay,
ahead, do it.
holy shit into a what the fuck. And he was like, that is exactly what I'm saying. Like, you just have to think holy shit, and then you go what the fuck, and then you run away.
Oh, interesting. So it's like an amazement,
Right.
to a like, this is gonna kill us.
Holy shit. Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
Was that okay?
No, that was
I
great.
Did it better
Yeah.
in the movie when you have more tries.
What is it like getting the chance to work with Adam Devine in this?
He's amazing. He, you know, everyone knows that Adam Devine is hilarious, and he's also just the kindest guy. So, and
Workaholics guys.
they're really nice guys. And the director was so kind, and they just they made the shoot so much fun and so easy just by just really kind people. And Adam Devine is so talented and funny, and it's nice to see somebody with that much success and that much talent be just like the nicest, most down-to-earth person ever.
Well, you kind of have a track record with folks like that, though. I mean, you've done a couple movies with The Rock, who's notorious for being a nice, grounded person, except when he's in a fight with Tyrese or something on social media. But outside of that, he's apparently like the nicest, sweetest guy.
He's the nicest guy, yeah. But I think that there's something to, you know, being tough and being nice doesn't mean that you don't have to not be tough. I don't know much about that argument with Tyrese. I didn't really follow it.
No, sorry, yeah.
But I think that he is exactly what everyone, I've said this, you know, a million times. He's exactly what everyone sees him to be. He's the nicest, hardest working guy. And so I've been really lucky. Did
you have mentors early on when you were starting to do this who kind of, because I think it is very easy, and people don't realize this, for actors and actresses to sort of slip into a kind of behavior because everything is kind of taken care of them on set. You know, there is someone waiting to get you, someone to pull you out. They'll wake you up. They'll do this. So you can, without realizing it, sort of slip into it's all about me kind of thing. And you need someone at a young age to kind of be like, no, this is the proper way to remember how to behave in yourself.
Right. And I understand why that happens. I don't think that would happen to me because I operate, especially when I was younger, from a place of complete panic and fear. So I am always afraid that, you know, the rug will be pulled out from it, which I actually think is, you know, as long as it doesn't overtake your life, is a healthy thing. You have to always think about, you know, and I didn't do my first big movie until I was 23.
Was that San Andreas?
It was Percy Jackson.
Right.
So I think that I was old enough, and I had waited tables, and I'd been a bartender. I'd been through a lot, and I think that that helped keep me grounded, and also remembering that you never know what can happen, and always knowing that you have to continue to work hard and be kind to people and keep your feet on the ground, and you can't, you know, take advantage of people or just because you're on a movie set and everyone's doing whatever you want, it doesn't mean that you know, can take advantage of that. So I think that that's something that I've been really aware of. But I understand why that happens when people get famous at a really young age.
When it comes to the kind of movies that you're doing, for instance, When We First Met, or having done the big action movies, big action comedy, do you feel like you are kind of consistently trying to challenge yourself as you go from movie to movie?
Yes, I think I try to challenge myself, you know, with everything. Yeah, with everything I do. There's different reasons to do different films, but I think I've been able to do a sort of variety of different characters. Especially, I have a few movies coming out that are completely different than anything I've done, and I've been.
I was telling you before, your movies, you're stacked with a ton of movies coming out.
I did. I've had a busy couple of years. And I think you have to try to challenge yourself, but also try to, you know, you have certain opportunities come to you at certain times. I've been lucky to have the opportunities I've had, and I always want to do things that are different. And whether it's playing someone who's really sexy or playing someone that's, you know, like True Detective's a good example of that. And that's not who I am by any stretch of the imagination. And it actually was quite amazing to me to see that I could do that and effectively pull it off and have people see me that way. So that's cool. And then to be able to do like San Andreas and When We First Met and just sort of play around with different aspects of my personality is really fun.
What's the easiest aspect of your personality to tap into when you're acting?
The awkward one.
The awkward one.
Yeah.
You say you're an awkward person.
A little. Like I think that I.
What scenarios make you the most? When do you find? Because we all have that thing where it's like, after a scenario, we go, oh God, I'm so awkward when I'm in moments like that.
Yeah.
What are your moments?
Well, I think I'm good at pretending that I'm cool sometimes, but that's
You seem pretty relaxed and pretty cool right now.
Yes, this is all. I mean, this is really
Is it
taking
acting?
100% of my energy. I think awkward. I get very awkward around boys. Extremely awkward with dating. Extremely awkward around boys. I have no idea what to say to them, or what they're actually saying to me. I constantly think that they mean something other than what they say. So that I'm bad at parties.
Guys do that too. You know, we think
I'm
that girls
sure.
mean, yeah, that's a common, I think, gender thing.
Yeah, women are from.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Yeah,
Right, that's right.
The age-old book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I like all of us. We all get a little awkward sometimes. But have you ever met someone who's like just so cool? Yeah. Like you can tell that they're just like the coolest person and they're totally chill and they're like that all the time, and it's a bit like it makes you jealous.
I fucking hate those people.
Yeah, it's like who the hell are you that you are just so chill, that life is just so cool for you that you're just like walking around all cool. I get very I don't know how to talk to people like that.
I always find I overtalk with people like that because they're so cool, they know how to hang back, and I find that within minutes I'm like exposing something about myself and my personality that I never want to talk to anybody about, just because I'm trying to like fill the dead
How do
air.
I make this person like me? I'm going to talk to you a lot and not stop talking. And here I'm going to tell you about what I had for breakfast, and then also tell you about my mom's surgery last year, and then I'll also right. And they're like, cool, dude. Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, God damn it, I hate. And then they go off.
Can't break them.
And like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing for the first time and be better at it than anybody else. A lot of times those people are like that too.
Yeah, I went up on stage with Ansel Elgort, who is one of the
He's very cool
people. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. We were presenting at the Billboard Awards together, and I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. And he was like, really? And I was like, no, just kidding.
He showed up here in his leather jacket, and I was like, hey, I'm Ricky. Nice to meet you. I loved Baby Driver. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And it wasn't like he was being a dick or anything.
No, he's
like,
not a dick.
cool.
He's just completely cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's like that a little bit too.
I've never met Ryan
Cool.
Gosling, but I can tell he probably is.
Yeah.
See, that intimidates me.
It's very intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I run away from it. The only thing that helps me with Ansel Elgort is that he's like 12 years younger than me, 13 years younger than me. So I feel like I've got a bit of an edge there.
Yeah, but to that point, how dare someone so much younger than us be so chill? Like, how has he figured it out and we can't? You know what I mean?
When I was that age, I
Sorry,
was like,
Ansel.
let's do shots. Can I eat a burger now? Like,
Right. Yeah.
Let's just keep going down this tangent.
I have
this
no
is
other
fun. This is fun.
stories of cool celebrities to tell you. Adam's cool.
That was me leaving you hanging. I'm really sorry. I could have popped a question in there for
and
you.
you know who else is? I actually want to compliment Robbie Amell here. He's so good in the movie, and he's so cute, and I think he is, he's a big actor. I think he's going to be an even bigger star. He's great. Yeah. He's really good in the movie. He does a really good job.
One of the other things that you're here to talk about is you do a lot of wonderful philanthropic work. You work with the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation as well as Nothing But Nets in malaria, right? These two groups sort of coming together. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So basically, I went down to Africa to see what these two groups were doing. So these two organizations, Nothing But Nets, which provide nets to people because at night is when the malaria mosquitoes come out, so it helps prevent the spread of malaria. And the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, they're partnering up because in this region of Malawi, in Africa, people with HIV will the malaria problem is huge and also the HIV problem is huge. So people that come into the mobile clinics that they've set up frequently come in with both of those conditions. So they've decided to partner up and put both their resources into this one problem in this region. And when I went, you can see that there are huge changes, and statistically there are huge changes. The HIV rates have gone down since they've implemented this project, and I just believe in it so fully. In addition, I believe that it empowers women in a huge way because the women in this community are being, really hurt by the HIV epidemic, and it's preventing women from going to school and from being a voice in the community. And I believe that this project is helping women have a voice in the community and help sort of mentor other young people in order to help prevent the spread of HIV and to help teach people how to not contract malaria or to seek out treatment. So I've seen it with my own eyes, and I encourage anyone who is looking to donate even $1, $5, you can go on their website, it's on my social media, and even a tiny little bit of money helps. And I think I donate, when I had no money, I donated a little bit every year, and, as I make more, you donate a little bit more, whatever you can afford, and I think it's making a huge difference in the world, and I think that the HIV problem is a global problem that is not solved, and I think that it's been around for so long that people forget. It's a problem in the States, it's a problem all over the world, and I encourage people to donate money to help continue this incredible project because it really is helping. I think at one point in certain villages, 3 out of every 4 people had HIV, which is crazy, and that's dangerous for the world. So that's sort of my takeaway from my experience with these two groups.
How did you get involved with these groups?
They approached me. I think they were looking for somebody with a young fan base and someone who could speak to young people and explain what the problems were and how to solve them and sort of reach young people. And I want young people to be aware of what's going on in the world and be aware of what you can do to help solve it. And I think that that's good for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Let's get some questions from our audience. Hi.
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 I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank
I've
you.
watched all of your work. I was just wondering, when you filmed this movie, what was like the funniest or most memorable moment on set?
There were a lot. I think there was one day, we shot this, one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when, it was in this clip I think we just showed, Adam comes in, Noah is his character name, and thinking that he knows us, but he's changed the past to such an extent that we think that he's a stalker because he knows everything about us, and we don't know why because we don't know who he is. So Shelley Hennig, another actress in the movie who's not on this poster, unfortunately, hits him in the head with a plant, and then we just start screaming whatever we want to scream, and I'm screaming, hit him in the dick, and hit him in the balls, and so we got to improv that sort of sequence. So that was ton of fun to just be able to scream whatever nonsensical thing comes into my head, and I like doing that. And a lot of it's not going to end up in the final cut, and when some of it does, it's really cool because it's just you screaming hysterically nonsense things.
When you screamed "hit him in the dick," were you like, "That's gonna make the cut"?
And
No,
guess
yeah.
what? It did. It made the cut. No, I wasn't.
how
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
think
make
it
this.
would. I didn't think it would make the cut. No. So that's really fun. It's fun to work, and I love working with comedians and people that don't take themselves too seriously. And we did get to them. We had a lot of fun nights out, and it was New Orleans, so we got to go out drinking quite a bit. So that was nice.
New Orleans is the best city to go out drinking.
I know, and no one judges you. Like you will never be the drunkest person in New Orleans.
Whenever you feel like you're too drunk, you can look over and see someone with a hurricane drink that's like
Right.
this big.
Right, you're like, wow, I'm in a bad way. I better go home or I'm going to embarrass myself. And then you look around and you're like, I'm the soberest person in here. Not to insult New Orleans, not that everyone, that was sort of insulting. I love New Orleans.
So do I. I'm going in like 2 weeks. Let's get another question right here.
I wanted to know what kind of roles excite you when you read a script, and is there any kind of role that you would want to do but haven't done yet?
I really love period pieces. I did one recently that hasn't come out yet that I believe I recently saw a cut of it, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's called We've Always Lived in the Castle, based on a Shirley Jackson novel, and that's period piece, like 1950s. And that really, when I read that script, I was really drawn to that because it was so different than anything I've done and because it was a period piece. And just the costumes and the hair and just embodying a completely different time period really interests me. Anything that Keira Knightley does really interests me. Just that sort of elegance and like just the sort of, I don't know, the sort of romantic nature of those kinds of stories really interests me. So I would love to do more like that. But I think that mostly when I'm looking for roles, I just want to find something that is honest, that speaks to my humanity and other people's humanity, and sometimes it's not on the page, but I'll read something and I'm like, I know how to make this likable, or I know how to make this work. Even if it's on the page, the person appears one way, there's always another side of a human being. So when I'm reading it and it appears one way, but I see a different side that's not obvious on the page, I get excited by that too, because I see that as a challenge.
Have you played for lack of a better word, like a bad person yet? Or not? I don't want to say a villain, but someone with like a villainous instinct? Is that something that you want to play?
Yeah, I would love to play a villain. I haven't. I have not played a villain because I'm so likable. And everyone loves me
It's true, you're very
so much.
likable.
So they're like, it's not realistic. No, I would love to do that. I haven't had the opportunity, but I actually would be a great villain. I've got
You would?
I think so, yeah.
What makes you say that?
I think that there's probably I think that as I've gotten into my 30s, I think that there's a really sort of angry person in there that I can channel. Especially as a woman, we all know there's stuff we can channel. I think that now I'm more in touch with my anger than I've ever been before. So I should go find a role where I can take that out and use it for good, not evil.
A different kind of anger, too, when you hit your 30s, right? Like, I feel like I was more in touch with rage when I was in my early 20s. I could tap into that.
This is a healthy anger.
Healthy anger. It's like a darkness. It's like,
a therapeutic darkness. Like, wow, I've been through some shit, and now I'm gonna fuck shit up.
I'm looking forward to this. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Just wait. The next decade will be really exciting.
All villains.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we have time for one more question right here.
Yes. So you guys briefly touched on the growing trend of home viewing and streaming, but there is something to be said for the intangible experience of seeing a movie in a theater. Taking that a step further, would you ever consider doing live theater, like in New York or Broadway?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I'm getting lipstick on this. In fact, I started acting. I grew up in the city. I started acting because I wanted to be in Les Mis. So I started because I wanted to be on Broadway. And I would choreograph dances to all of the Les Mis songs and everything. And that was what I originally wanted to do, and I've been thinking more and more about doing theater, but it's just a matter of making them understand that they want me. So it's going to be, I think that that's something I would like to do in the next few years. And I have auditioned for a few plays, and I think it's such a good thing for an actor to do. It's such a great challenge. It's a completely different thing than shooting a film, and I would love to do that. Yes.
I have to let you go. It's been really nice talking to you.
Thank you, guys.
When We First Met will be on Netflix February 9th.
February
Everyone can
9th.
see it. If people want to donate to the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation and to Nothing But Nets, they can go online and look that up. I'm sure you have a link to it on your...
I have a link to it on my social media, Twitter, Instagram Alexandra Daddario.
Wait, so hold on a second. Wait, whoa. Your Twitter is your
Daddario.
name?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's a little difficult.
So you just go and type in my name.
I'm confused. How do people find you on social media again?
But it's also Elizabeth Taylor AIDS, so it's etaf.org, I believe, and Nothing But Nets.
Everybody, Alexandra Daddario, let's hear it.
Thank you, guys.